Hello, welcome to this episode of Hypnotist Exposition. Joining us tonight is Meghan.
Hi.
Hello, Meghan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 21 years old. I attend UMass Dartmouth.
Right.
I'm a senior psychology major.
Wow.
I'm in a sorority. I'm on the competitive cheerleading team.
Wow.
I do philanthropy. I'm a member of UMAD, which is a part of MAD, Destructive Decisions of Boston.
Okay.
I pretty much do everything.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You have a full schedule.
Yes. Yes.
So what got you into studying psychology?
When I was growing up, I kind of just knew that was exactly what I wanted to do. I lucked out. I like to know about people, so being able to help other people is what I really enjoy.
That's great. That's great. What got you into cheerleading?
I really think it's because my parents, I wouldn't sit still when I was a child, so they got me into cheerleading, and right when I could, I just got on a team, hopped in a uniform, and I never turned back.
Oh, wow.
So.
Wow. What do you like most about is it a sport, or would you consider
Yep, it's a competitive cheerleading team at my school. We were
Okay.
national champions for 2 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's,
we have a true champion.
Yep. I think the competitiveness
You should wear
of
your
it,
medals.
we don't get it.
Oh,
I have rings.
Oh, all right. Show.
I have rings.
There we go.
So I like the competitiveness of it and just getting thrown in the air and being a part of a team, because it's not all about yourself, it's about everyone. So.
That's great. That's great. So what would you like to work on tonight?
I'd like to become more. I don't want to be afraid to tumble and do different things with cheerleading. I want to improve myself from my last year and just become a better cheerleader without having that fear of myself getting hurt or doing anything wrong. I just want to be able to go out and do it without second guessing myself.
Okay. Slow down a little bit. So what happened?
I have really bad injuries from all the sports that I've played. My ankles, I have no tendons. I hurt my back with muscles and discs and my knees. So I think that's a little bit of it. And my brain just tells me no, but my body tells me yes. So.
Okay. Is it like does the injuries happen over time, or was it one specific incident? No,
it was just over time, ever since I was a little girl, from basketball, softball, cheerleading, track.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
everything that I've ever done, it kind of just caught up to me. So.
You've done the whole Olympics?
Yes.
Every category.
I've done everything. Yes.
Since when had this become a problem for you?
Probably my senior year in high school, so about 4 years ago. And now the pain doesn't go away, so my brain just tells me no, don't do it.
Have you seen a doctor?
Yeah, but I don't want to do anything about it because I don't want to stop cheering. Okay.
Well, I don't want to be intrusive, so if I ask something too personal in a medical sense, you don't have to say it. So what other things do you do other than cheerleading?
I do a lot of philanthropy.
Tell me about that.
Women's domestic violence in New Bedford. We help with the shelter down there, the Walk for Autism, the Relay for Life. Anything that we can really get our hands on, we do, just to try to get our name out there as a sorority. And then me as myself, I just do anything that I can when I see something. So
that's great. How would you describe yourself?
Oh, I don't like those kind of questions. I'm really fun-loving. I'm just really outgoing. I love to have a good time, and I love meeting people. So I love adventure, pretty much. I love to explore.
Great, great. So going back to cheerleading, right? Let's put this into context. The last time you find that, should we call it a psychological barrier of some sort?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The last time you encountered this barrier, tell us about what happened.
Actually, it was Sunday night at cheerleading practice, and we were tumbling, doing running passes, and I just couldn't get myself to push forward with the skill, and I just stopped myself.
For us who are not familiar with cheerleading, could you explain the move?
What I was doing was a round-off back handspring, back tuck. Your hands go on the ground, and then you flip yourself in the air. And what I want to do is a round-off back handspring, full twisting layout. And I can get myself to do the layout, which is when your body is just flat in the air and you flip over and you land on your feet. But with the full, you have to twist your body all the way around, and I can't get my brain to do it.
Okay, so walk us through it very slowly. You were, at which point did your brain
After
tell
the
you?
back handspring.
Okay, what does it sound like when your brain is talking to you?
Just tells me no. So I
Okay.
just don't do it.
Okay, is it like a voice?
I think
I'm just thinking, how is it manifest?
it just sounds like me telling myself no.
Okay,
And my body just stops. I'll start to twist and then I'll just stop. So I'll never make it all the way around.
okay. As that was, let's just slow down time, right? So we're focusing on that particular moment.
Yep.
What kind of feelings go through your mind?
I'm really
Or your body?
anxious.
Okay.
I'd say
Does it start at that moment, or does it start in
in the very
developing?
beginning.
Okay.
And right when I'm about to start running and I go,
So do you feel that it is the sum of all the anxiety
yes.
at that? So it is not really at that point.
No, it's
So
from the very
that's- okay.
beginning. Me thinking about it, I think I psych myself out of doing it.
Okay. So you can disagree with me, but we should probably work on the run up to it, right?
I mean, I can do that in my sleep. It's that part of it that I just can't do.
Okay, but the anxiety started.
Yes.
If it is a perfect run, I'm not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to to imagine that. I mean, I have the physique and all, but in a perfect, like a routine, would you call
A
it?
tumbling pass.
Okay, tumbling pass. You have done those before.
Yeah.
Is it always anxious? when
Not
you start
unless I'm
running?
trying to throw that skill.
Okay, so it's very specifically that particular
Yes.
move. How would you rate that in a scale of difficulties? Like in a common rating scale.
It's what most cheerleaders on a college level are looking to do. So it's one of the hardest.
Okay, but you have successfully did that move before.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think about this often?
All the time. It's pretty much all I think about.
What kind of thoughts go through your mind?
Just why I can't do it, why my body just won't let me do it, and
Okay.
how I just want to do it and not be afraid.
Okay. Do you do anything to alleviate that
No.
anxiety? Well, you know where I'm getting at, right? Is the
Mhm.
thinking and
Yep.
and feeling and behavior
Mm-hmm.
kind of cycle, right? So in a perfect world, right? Let's say I have a magic wand. It's actually right here. You know, I can like just do this and everything works out perfectly, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you see yourself different?
I'd say like more powerful to myself because I overcame something that I didn't think that I could.
Okay. But what I mean is in relations to the tumbling move.
Probably
Like-
say it like alleviated that I could actually do it.
Okay. In a perfect run, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel different from the run you did on Sunday?
I'd just be happy
Okay.
and ready to do it without double guessing and just thinking about it. I'd just be able to do it without the fear of getting hurt or myself telling me no.
What makes you think that it is a fear of getting hurt?
I don't know. I think it's because I haven't done it in so long, that because every time I used to land, my ankles or my back would hurt, that I think that it might happen again.
Is that, do you think about that as you run up to the move? Or do you attribute that afterwards?
No, I think about that sometimes. Not every time, but the
That's
majority.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So is that was your thoughts, that
Yeah.
you may get hurt as you run up to the, okay. So I think it would be unethical to hypnotize you to do something that may actually hurt yourself, right? So you may want to see a doctor, and I highly recommend you to see a doctor in regard to your personal injury. Let's say in another sports, right? Do you got that same feeling? Like, let's say, you play other sports, right? Like basketball. Do you get the same feeling that you might get hurt?
No.
What do you think is the difference here?
There really is none. It's just me telling myself no. Even though I know, right now I know that I'm okay. When I go to do it, I tell myself no. So now my body just forgets how to do that tumbling pass.
How much practice do you get on the tumbling pass? Is there something you can practice on without actually doing the move?
Yeah, I've been doing that for almost 2 years now.
Okay. What kind of thoughts go through your mind?
Nothing. Just, I should move on and do it. I'm doing this perfectly. I should be able to do the next step.
Okay.
My coaches tell me the same, so.
Okay. Well, I'm a little bit stuck on the fear part. Could you describe to me what you mean by a fear?
I think that it's more fear of me not remembering how to do it. That's my fear of getting hurt. Because if I don't remember how to do it and I don't have trust in myself, then I can get really hurt.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's not a real fear of getting hurt.
No, I think
like you're tougher than that, and if you are seriously injured, you wouldn't be able to do a lot of the other things leading up. So I'm not a doctor, so disclaimer. I don't want to give you medical advice, right? So we can safely say that it is not really a fear of getting hurt, right?
No.
It is. So going back to what I'm talking about before, it is a self-doubt on your skill level.
Yes.
So going back, is there anything you can do in your practice? Anything more you can do in your practice, or anything less that you can do when it comes to...
just keep doing what I've been doing, but the next step is a full, so it's almost like I'm right there. I can do it on a trampoline, I can do it on a really, really squishy mat, but when it comes to just a regular floor, I don't do it. I'll do it into a pool. I'll do it anywhere.
Okay. So we can use hypnosis to just help you imagine the move, slow it down in your mind. That's what a lot of athletes wanted. Is, let's say in soccer, they want, things are moving really fast, so they want to be able to slow down the move and do it step by step. So I'm not a cheerleading coach, right? So I do not know precisely what goes into that particular move that you talk about, and you will have to use your own imagination and do it yourself, and just to help you visualize better. And when's the next time you will be having this practice?
Tomorrow.
Oh, great. Instant feedback.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Right, that's great. All right, so what we're about to do right now is hypnosis. So hypnosis is not coma.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a knockout kind of thing. It's not like surgery. You'll still be aware of what's happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing you would need to be aware of is that just let things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do not try to go into hypnosis. It's like people trying to fall asleep. The harder you try to fall asleep, the harder it is for you to fall asleep, right? So don't try to go into hypnosis, and I'll do everything in my skill and power to bring positive results.
Okay.
And in return, I would like your cooperation. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, just sit back with your feet flat on the floor. Just hold out your arms like this. And just push down on my finger as lightly as possible. That's right. Take a deep breath in. As soon as your palm touches your knees, I would just like you to close your eyes and let yourself drift, okay? Good. I want you to look up here. That's right. When I count backwards from 3 to 1, when I reach the number 1, I would like you to just close your eyes and let your mind drift. As soon as you close your eyes, I would like you to imagine yourself on a calm, quiet beach. You can feel the warm ray of the sun on the tip of your nose, on your cheek, and around your shoulders. You can find yourself relaxing and just enjoying the warmth and comfort and peace on this calm, quiet beach. 3, 2, 1. That's right. Just let yourself go. Asleep. Still feeling your arms getting heavier and heavier and heavier. That's right. Still feeling the warm ray of the sun on the tip of your nose. Still feeling the warm ray of the sun on your cheek. And just let this warm, comfortable relaxation flows through from your cheek down to the center of your body, around your shoulders. Feel this warmth of the center of your body. That's right. And allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into the softness of the chair. As I count backwards from 5 to 1, when I reach the number 1, you'll find yourself sinking so deeply into the softness of this chair. You feel as if you're sinking through the chair and all the way down to number 4. 5. Still feeling the warm ray of the sun throughout your cheek and your forehead. That's right. You can even hear the seagulls off in the distance. That's right. You can hear the sound of the ocean waves washing against the shore. That's right. And you can see every speck of color in this beautiful beach, making you more and more relaxed as you sink deeper, deeper down into your chair. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just let yourself go and relax. Just feel your arms relaxing, loose, limp, and relax. That's right. Now, Meghan, I would like you to just picture on your forehead a happy, happy place a place that you might have been before or you have never visited. It could be a realistic place or a fantastic place. It doesn't matter. I want you to just picture that right in front of your eyes. Right. Good. Good. As you can see all the colors, feel all the delight and all the joy in this wonderful place, your unconscious mind is wide open and ready to receive the positive and beneficial suggestions I'm giving you right now. That's right. Now I want you to use your unconscious mind and find all the stress or anxiety or the fear about doing that particular cheerleader move. It could be building up in your shoulder or your back or your legs, or it may be a knot that was tied in the back of your mind. Just use your unconscious mind and let go of that stress right now. That's right. That's right. It may be an emotional baggage that you might have been holding on. It may be something that you have developed to protect you. It may have worked very well for you in the past, but you no longer need to hold on to that anymore. Just let that go and let that dissipate into the atmosphere right now. That's right. Let go of all those voices that may be in your mind or in your body. It could be a nerve or a tendon or a muscle, or it could be something that you have been saying to yourself unconsciously. Just let that go and feel your shoulders becoming lighter and lighter, feeling that baggage lifting from your back. That's right. I want you to use your unconscious mind to picture a perfect run up to that move. That's right. Everything is perfect. Just picture that happening step by step. It could be in slow motion, it could be in regular time. Feel all your muscles, all the nerves, and all your mind and body moving in sync with each other. That's right. See yourself completing this move. See yourself having absolute focus, free of any distraction, free of any criticism. This is your peak performance moment. And see yourself landing perfectly. That's right. As I tap you on the shoulder again, you run through this entire perfect scenario through your mind. It is so easy, so effortlessly accomplished through the power of your mind. That's right. I want you to simulate this movement in your mind and through the muscles memory one more time. Tomorrow, when it comes to practice time, you'll find yourself feeling calm and relaxed. At any time you feel anxious, which is perfectly normal, I want you to say to yourself, I am calm, I am relaxed. I am in control. Why don't you say it with me? I am calm.
Relax.
Good. That's right. Tomorrow when you're about to do that move, you find yourself absolutely focused on the move. All distractions are gone. Anything that would take away your focus are in the back of your mind. You find that your mind and body are totally in sync with each other. You know the power of your mind. You can trust the power of your mind. And anything that has been bothering you in the past will just vanish. You find yourself completing the entire move without thinking about it, without worrying about it. It will all happen automatically and effortlessly, trusting that you've been working so hard all these years that your mind and your body know exactly what to do. That's right. And see that yourself landed completely and perfectly. And trust that you can perfectly able to execute everything down to absolute perfection. Good. That's right. I'm going to count from 1 to 10. When I reach number 10, you'll find yourself coming back to this room, feeling absolutely great. All the stress are off. You feel totally focused, totally energized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in. Good. 10. It's great. We'll talk a little bit more in the hallway and talk about your experience. Right now our time is up. Thank you for watching. This is Hypnotist Bernie. Join us next week, Tuesday night, 7:30. All right.